In my last video in this series, I shared what I feel are 10 positive aspects about me having psychomotor overexcitability. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you watch it first. You will find the link to it below this video. Having psychomotor overexcitability is not all fun and games though, and that's why I want to share 6 negative aspects about having psychomotor overexcitability in this video. Let's get to them. Firstly, when I was a kid, I wasn't able to channel my energy. I had too much energy all the time. I remember being 3 years old, and back then we lived in a house with 240 square meters, which is about 2,600 square feet, and our house had a lot of rooms. It had a lot of rooms. So what I did was I ran in and out of every room as quickly as I could. I was feeling so restless, I just couldn't sit still. And now, at 41, I still have excess energy. For example, I feel like I can easily take on new tasks or projects even though I can't and shouldn't. Just recently, a coworker said that 6th graders in New York City want to correspond with my 6th graders at our school in Holland, and just like that, I took on that new project, that new pen pal project, even though I already have a full schedule. I shouldn't have done it, but I just couldn't help myself. So that's one of my struggles right there. Secondly, and on a similar note, it won't come as a surprise to you that I used to be a workaholic. Just take 2018 for example. Back then, I worked 10 hours a day from Monday to Friday and 8 hours a day on Saturdays and Sundays. I worked nonstop. Now, if you're in America, this is not that special, I know, to work that much. But here in Europe, very few people work that much. For instance, back in 2018, I shot 2 videos a week. Now I shoot 1 video a month. And back in 2018, on weekday evenings, I taught lessons between 7 and 9 p.m. And during the day, I worked at school or on my videos. On weekends, I prepared lessons. Working that much didn't bother me. It wasn't until I stopped working that much that I felt I had exhausted myself and that I had felt stressed out all the time. It's very unhealthy to work that much. When I turned 40 in 2022, my energy level went down. So now I work between 30 to 40 hours a week and take the weekends off. That's great. Thirdly, it's still very hard for me to sit still. I remember all those times my mom told me to sit still at the dinner table. I fidgeted back then and fidget now, sometimes without even realizing it. I even do it in these videos. Phileas Fogg. Phileas Fogg is a theater company here in the Netherlands. They give students fun workshops in English. The actors are British and they are amazing. Last year they gave our 8th graders, which would be 6th graders in the USA, a workshop. And my colleagues and I were watching the workshop and suddenly I realized I was moving back and forth. In my chair I went like this. So I said to myself, stop it. And I did. But later on, I realized I was doing it again. So I said to myself, stop it. Again. And I did. Aside from that, I cannot stand still or sit still when I brush my teeth. I walk on the spot when I brush my teeth. I walk around or stand when I teach a lesson at school. I never sit. I never sit during a lesson at school. As I said in my earlier video, I use my hands a lot when I talk. But due to homophobia, I learned that wasn't accepted. I learned that I couldn't do that. So because society doesn't accept someone who moves around all the time, having to keep my body still, forcing myself not to move, is a constant struggle. I mean, I get it. It's annoying when somebody moves too much, when she or he talks. I get that. But at the same time, some people, they just can't help it. Fourthly, my mouth wouldn't stop moving either. I was too chatty as a kid and had learned the hard way that it was neither appreciated nor accepted. With all my talking, I drained the adults around me of energy. Other children and the adults around me found me overwhelming because I was too overexcited when I spoke. With all my talking, or I should say it like this, I talked so much that the people around me either stopped listening or told me it was enough. Sometimes that still happens. When I was a kid at school, I quickly learned that it wasn't accepted to talk that much, so I wasn't chatty at school. Besides, I remember talking so much once that my sister fell asleep. So I learned I had to keep things short and not elaborate on stuff. Don't go into detail because for other people, that's too much detail. This has created a fear in me, a fear of being too much. Since I don't want to be overwhelming to anyone, I stay quiet. Don't say a thing. And this isn't good because it creates loneliness. It creates loneliness because most of the time I cannot fully express myself. I cannot fully be myself around anyone. If I am, they find me annoying. Fifthly, I have to keep busy all the time. I cannot sit around and do nothing. If I have nothing to do, I get restless and real cranky, and I hate wasting my time. What I used to do if I had nothing to do was I used to keep on working in that situation. Now if I have time to spare, I either work out a little bit, I run up and down the stairs, or I read a book, or listen to music I love, or watch educational videos on YouTube. And finally, in my last video, I said I was competitive. If I give into it, I can still be competitive, but I'd say I managed to shake it off because I suffered from it. I realized that getting rid of all the stress was more important to me than winning and being the best. Sure, there are still times when I feel I need to be better than that coworker, or I need to be a better YouTuber than that fellow YouTuber. But as soon as that feeling of needing to be the best washes over me, I take a deep breath and tell myself I'm already doing my best. And that's enough. It's all I can do. And there you have it. Those were the 6 aspects of psychomotor overexcitability which I feel are negative. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel and watch this series from the start. In 4 weeks, I will be back with a new video in this series on intellectual giftedness. Till then, I only want to say 3 things. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye for now.